Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's almost the story of your career at this point. You know, get them on the ground and then they've got nothing for you. Is that how you anticipated the fight going?
Yeah, definitely with Nina, because I know she's a striker. So it was that typical striker versus grappler. My last fight, Virna, she has like good grappling. So even though I was more confident to go to the ground, even against a grappler, but I knew that the way to, you know, not risk too much getting a broken nose again or things like that was to take it to the ground. So that was the game plan, that was the idea, and I'm really, really happy that I was able to get it.
Not to disrespect your opponent, but when you're on the ground with the people you're fighting, do you feel the difference in levels? Can you just feel like, okay, look, this is there and they don't see it? Can you just feel that?
Yeah, 100%. You know, all the time when any of the girls that I fight, when I go, especially like Nina, for example, I see she does a lot of like up kicks and things like that. So it's dangerous, you know, to get up kick and get injured. And so as soon as I went to the ground, kind of like I could have pushed the pace a little bit sooner, but I wanted to see kind of just what her movements would be, where she was going to go. And as soon as I kind of felt her move, I said, okay, you can tell, you know, I've been training jiu-jitsu my whole life, you know, so you can tell, okay, I can put this pressure here and there, and she's going to be kind of following behind me.
Does that give you a sort of a sense of comfort when you're there and you feel that these openings and where you can put the pressure, you think, this is basically where I'm at home now, you know, there's nothing they can do from here?
Yeah, definitely. Even when I heard the corner like, 2 minutes left, 20 seconds left, you know, like in my mind was, okay, 20 seconds is still enough time, you know, especially when I had like her arm like basically lassoed in, you know. So for me, 20 seconds is still like a lot of time, you know, so it definitely gives me a lot of confidence when I feel that.
So where do you go from here? I mean, she was a highly ranked opponent. Where do you see yourself? I know you're saying you're improving and you're treating it more seriously now, but with this win, where would you like to go?
I would like to go to number 5 in the ring, but I don't know. I think I know Marina, who beat Amanda Ribas, who beat me. She's, I think, number 6. And Claudia Gadelhas, who Nina beat Claudia, and I just beat Nina, is number 7. So I think around there, you know, I don't know if Tatiana Suarez will come back and fight anytime soon. I know Joanna doesn't have a fight, and they have a couple fights coming up pretty soon in the division. So a lot of things going to happen, and I hope I can go to number 5, but we'll see. I think 5, 6, 7 around there will be a good jump already.
And that's the who, but do you have a when in mind? I mean, I'm sure you didn't take much damage in this fight, so when would you like to get back in there?
April, May, June, July. Like July, August, I think. I like to fight 3 in 3 months if I don't have any injuries. When I went from like LFA and Victa, it was kind of on a good momentum, and then even in the UFC, I did a lot of kind of back-to-back fights. 2020, I had 3 fights in 6.5 months, so that was like 2 months between each fight. So yeah, really, if I can get another 3 months for the next fight. I know that, you know, the higher level you fight, you need to like prepare even more. So I'm not like, it needs to be in 3 months, but I'm prepared so much. I'm just adding a little bit more things to the game. So yeah, 3 months would be good. July, August.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You had talked beforehand at the media day and stuff about how you had given yourself over to let your coaches mold you. You wanted to be this piece of clay. When you go out there and have a performance like today, does that just reinforce everything that you believe in all these choices? Because even the commentary was saying they thought you looked more fit and that your cardio and everything looked better than ever. But with a performance like that, does it just reaffirm that you've made all the right decisions lately?
100%. I think the best thing was just to be able to, like, literally the punches, the takedown, and then the submission we were just doing in the locker room before we went out. So the fact that you can have the mind, like the calmness to be able to go and put what you do the training in the fight, you know, that's what makes me feel like, okay, everything's, you know, you're in sync with your coaches, with your training and everything, because you can do all the training, but if you don't have the mentality, the right mind to be able to put that in the fight, then you still need to find the synchrony, like synchronize with your training, with your coaches. But I feel I'm in sync with everyone right now, and I'm really happy with the decisions I made with my strength training coach to bring from Brazil is Anderson Silva, strength training coach. And yeah, Perillo, I think even Perillo, he wants, I always want to show like that I'm getting to where he wants. I asked him like, man, I still look a little excited, right? When I'm there, he's like, yeah, a little bit, but it's hard, when you see, especially for me who's a ground girl, when I see like the blood or I feel that they felt my hand, you get so excited, I want to have a knockout too eventually one day, so just to be able to keep that calm, to not risk, I know like the champ, I'll hit her, but she'll counter back, so those are the times that I have in my mind already, and I know I want to change, but I'm so confident that I'm at a good moment in my career, in my life, in my training.
I know you're it's tough to kind of put against you because you are a champion when it gets down onto the ground, but I know a lot of people are wondering if she maybe came back too quick after having the child. Maybe she should have took a little bit more time, but you were in there and you actually fought with her. Was she doing all the right things? Did she look like anybody? Do you think that she came back at the right time? I mean, go ahead.
I think so, I think, I'm not saying that because I beat her, but I came back with 4 months, and she came back with 6 months, and I had my first loss too, was when I came back, but the first fight back, if it's an injury, if it's a pregnancy, if it's you're having problems with your gym, any time away, it's sooner or later you need to have that first fight back, so really, if I know that she has a good support system, Nina Nunes, her Reagan, the best thing she's gonna do is go home, kiss her baby, hug her, and be back into training. And I know that she's gonna be even better in 10 months and things like that. So for me, who went through the same experience, I don't regret coming back soon and having that first loss to get it out of the way, and you start to get back into the rhythm. And I know she's gonna get back into the rhythm fast after this.
And finally, following up with that, one of the great things I thought about this was the UFC, and everybody sort of promoted this as two strong, proud mothers that were going in there and sort of fight. After it was over, you could see you leaned over and you said something to her. What sort of words did you guys share? What moment did you guys have after it was all said and done?
Yeah, I just said, man, I know everything you're going through, it's such an honor to be here in this ring with you for everything that we went through, as moms, and what we represent for the fight, and we're at the highest level, in mixed martial arts. So it's the training I know she put behind it, us being away from the babies, even though the baby's maybe on the outside of the cage, sure, and the training, and you're in the training, but that's a moment that you're trying to get punched in the face and and you hear the little cry, you hear the thing in your heart's kind of like, it's Mother Nature, you have that feeling. So I don't want her to be down. I know she won't be down, but I really had a really good connection with her, and I know we hopefully inspired a lot of people, a lot of women to go and bring the babies into their lives, not stop their lives for the baby, bring the baby, because they're our best friends, they do everything with us.
So what's the next step? Do you take a little bit of time off, rest, recoup, celebrate a little bit, or do you jump right back in the gym and stay busy for the rest of the year? Yeah,
no, for sure, jump back into the gym, probably have like a beer tonight, with my husband.
Wow.
And yeah, I know. I'm thankful, the fights were done early today, so probably go on the strip and walk around a little bit and let Moa, she's been in Vegas every time for my fights, so let her really, 'cause now she's almost 2, she'll start to see the lights and things like that. Enjoy tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday back in the gym.
Congrats on the win.
Yeah, thank you.
You talked about kind of knowing that the baby's just on the other side of the cage. I wonder if people actually realize that you can't turn it off,
no,
right? What are you going through, not just in the cage on fight night, but during training and as you're home and you're trying to go through your schedule? It's a real balancing act. Is it that you are able to turn it off, or is it just something that's always with you?
Yeah, it's something that it's always with you. Really, now, at least from my daughter, the older she's getting, and I know that she kind of starts to say some words and she can communicate better, what she likes, what she doesn't like. Makes you a little bit calmer, and knowing that, okay, if she's with grandma, she can, I don't need to translate everything, for them, like baby language. Only the parents know the baby language, right? But it's something, yeah, even at the hotel, it's the first time during the pandemic, her and my husband could stay at the hotel with me. So usually they were at the other hotel and I needed to go out for 2 hours and come back, So even at the hotel, I'm trying to rest and things like that, and kind of Moa's just getting into things, and you're trying to trust. I know my husband's there, my dad is there, grandpa's there, you know, but as the mom, you know, you have this feeling that you want to go and check on her, see what she's doing, tell her, no, Moa, come here, and I need to like constantly remind myself, no, let dad do it, let grandpa do it, it's okay, you know. So it's definitely something you learn to adapt in your training, you learn to get through it. I think during the promos they even saw like Moa, she's at the gym with me during my sparring, and sometimes I'm so focused now that she comes and gives me my water, and my coach says, oh, she's next to you, and I didn't even know she's next to me, you know, because I'm like, oh yeah, you know, and I remember she's here. So it's a training. I'm trying to train my mind just to really focus and, you know, trust that, you know, dad can do the same job you can, you know, and stuff like that, you know. But moms, we always think we can do it better, you know.
Last question for me. You're expecting to move up. There's a big fight happening at the top of division in a couple of weeks. How do you see that going?
Yeah, I think it was so motivating. You know, I got to see it from my warm-up room, you know, the promo for it and everything. I said, man, that's my division. I see myself with those girls soon, you know, in the near future. A lot of things can happen, but I think Zhang Weili, she'll keep the belt. You know, she looks, at least from social media, you know, I don't know her personally, but she looks just training all the time. Even Dana White's posting her like training, you know. So I said, man, she looks in a good, you know, she looks like me, you know, like at a good moment in her life. But I think when I think to beat Zhang Weili, I think to submit her, you know. So I know that Rose has submissions. And I think that we already saw Zhang Weili with Joanna, that's a striker, and she won. So I think that if anyone has the technique, in my mind, my strategy to fight her, it's Rose, that flying armbar, you know, the heel hooks. She has these long legs, and I think she'll give a lot of trouble to her. But I think that she's just at a good spot in her career right now. Any more?
Just a quick one. Congrats on the win, Mackenzie.
Thank you.
In the very beginning of the fight, I know it was only 5 minutes we got to work with, but there was a little bit of nervous energy to close the distance. Did I see that correctly, and what helped you kind of settle down and just go to work?
Oh, for me?
Yes, in the very beginning of the round, there was like a little bit of nervousness that you shot in and just wanted to close distance and attack and get it to the ground.
No, I mean, I think I started to see like. I really want to try and find my distance first. That was so maybe that's a little bit that anxiousness, you know, and I have that, like, that's something I'm really trying to control, is to not get so excited, you know. But my biggest thing on this fight was to get my distance first, even if it was to be standing up, but I wanted to get my jab first, my right hand first, and get the distance first. I thought maybe she'll come out with kicks, you know, she does a lot of kicks, so I started to like land a couple punches, and like I could see like, okay, I landed them good, and like I said, that's when you kind of get too excited and you want to just, you know, keep going forward. But yeah, I'm glad that on the cage I felt I wanted to get some elbows and kind of be aggressive. In my mind, I'm thinking like I'm trying to show him this more aggressive, like I'm already an aggressive fighter, but even more aggressive, like with elbows and knees. But I just felt kind of a little bit ahead the whole fight, you know, like standing up a little one step ahead of her timing-wise, you know. But yeah, I wasn't nervous. I was my coach was like, man, are you okay? I'm like, man, I feel like I'm fighting a jiu-jitsu tournament, you know. My best year in jiu-jitsu, when I won my first absolute world title and all these things, was how I was feeling now, you know. So just ready to go in there and have fun and feel everything, standing or ground or the cage, whatever.
Excellent. Congrats on the big win.
Thank you.